I'm Henry. Welcome to JS for everyone. Today we are going to learn about objects in JavaScript. So what is an object? Object is a collection of properties. By this I mean it's a key value pair. Objects can be compared to the real world objects like a car, bus or train. The real world objects will have its own properties, right? So for example, if you consider a car, the car can have several properties like the model of the car, the company of the car, the color of the car, and then the transmission type of the car, whether it is automatic or manual. So similar ways, the programming world objects will have its own properties. So if you create the same real world object into the programming world object, for example car, the same all those properties will be there inside the car object. Okay, so now you know what is an object. So in this video we are going to see how to create an object in JavaScript. There are several ways to do it. We're going to see some of the important ways or the most used ways to create an object in JavaScript. Okay, let's see that. There are three ways to create an object in JavaScript. The first way is using object initializers. Okay, what is an object initializer? The similar way how you initialize a variable, the same way you can initialize an object as well, which means object name is equal to open curly brace, close curly brace, in between you can give the key value pairs. And the second way to create an object is object constructor. So there is a constructor called object, and using that you can create an object by using new operator. The third way to create an object is object.create method, using which you can create an object. But the advantage in the third method is that you can give a prototype reference to the object so that it can have a parent and child relationship. Okay, now you know what are the three different ways to create an object, right? But these are not the only ways. There are several other ways as well, but these are all the most used ways to create an object. Till now we know that there are three important ways to create an object. The first way to create an object is using object initializers. Object initializers are nothing but comma delimited key value pairs, which means that I can say object name is equal to open curly brace, close curly brace. That's it. That will give you an object, and inside those curly braces you can have n number of properties into it. So let's have a quick example here. Like we have a car, and the car has three properties: color, transmission type and company. So this is the most easiest way to create an object in JavaScript. So you use this a lot in your day-to-day activities. So in this car object, I can change a value of a property after initialization. Like for example, car.color is equal to orange. So this will change the color from red to orange. Or else I can add more properties into the object, like car.some property name is equal to property value. Cool. So you now know how to create an object using object initializers. The second way to create an object is using the object constructor. There is a constructor called object. You can use new operator on object constructor to create an object. So we have the same car example here, where I say car is equal to new object of the list of properties. So this will give you an object. Okay, or else what you can do is you can say new object of null. This will give you an object without any properties. You can add more properties into it, like object.property name is equal to value. Like here we have car.color is equal to red. This will add a new property inside the car object. Or you can change the existing property value by car.company is equal to some other company. This will change the company from Tata to some other company. So this is the second way to create an object. So the first way was to create using object initializer. The second way is to create using new object constructor. The third way to create an object in JavaScript is object.create method. The advantage of using this method is that if you want to create an object with inheritance, which means that you want to create an object by inheriting another object, you can use this method. So this object.create method accepts two arguments into it. The first one is prototype and the second one is the descriptor. What is a prototype? So if I want, here we have a car example. So this car object I want to inherit from another object called vehicle object. In that case, we can give the first object as a vehicle object. But right now, I don't want to inherit from any other object. So what I did is object.create, object.prototype. The first argument is object.prototype. And the second argument is the descriptor. The descriptor gives the object.create method the idea how to create the different properties inside that object. So here we have two properties, model and company. So that will be the property name, and then inside that we have another object which is a list of parameters into it, like value, writable, all those things. So value is the actual value of the property, and writable is a configuration for the property, which here it denotes that particular property, which is a model, is rewritable. You can rewrite it again and again whenever you want it in the later part of the program. So you have other configurations like enumerable, but those things we will learn it later. For now, you can create an object using object.create method. The first argument is a prototype object, the second argument is a descriptor. Inside the descriptor you can have a model or the property name, and then you can have the list of the properties which gives an idea about what is the property. Okay, that's it guys. This is the end of first part of the video. Now we are going to the second part of the video. The first part of the video we have learned the 3 ways to create an object, right? In the second part of the video we are going to do those 3 ways in hands-on. We are going to do it in editor. Okay, so prepare your laptop, open your editor and be ready. We are going to do it together. Let's get started. So welcome to the second part of the video guys. Now we are going to do the hands-on. Let's do the first way. The first way to create an object was using object initializers. So object initializers are nothing but object name is equal to object. So we are going to create a car object now. Const car is equal to okay. So now I have created a car object. Cool. So let's see this car object in the browser. Now it has created an object with properties, company and model. Cool. So now the second method to create an object was using object constructor. Let's do that now. So now I have created a object car1, and what I am doing is like I'm just creating a new object of null, an empty object. So this created car1 with an empty object. You can see this in the developer console here as an empty object. Okay. Now we have to add more properties into it. How do we add that? So now we have passed null as a argument to that object constructor, right? Now instead of that we have to pass the list of properties into it. So let's say, okay, company data. So let's save it and go back to the browser. Yes, now it's created a object with the property company. Okay. So now I want to add more properties into it after the initialization. How do I do that? That's very simple. Like car1 dot model is equal to Tigor. So now it have added a new property called model into the object after initialization. Third way now we are going to use is object.create. So this particular way is having a bit of upper hand than the other two, because here you can give a prototype object as a first argument. But the other two objects, the default prototype will be object prototype, but the third method we can give our own object the prototype method into it. Okay, so let's do that. Third object is car2, where I'm saying object dot create of. Okay, so what I said is the first argument was object dot prototype and the second argument was a descriptor. So the first argument will accept any prototype object. So for now, I don't want to inherit from any of the other objects. So what I'm doing is like I'm just now referring it to the object prototype, the default one. Okay, object.prototype. Okay. The second one is the descriptor. The second argument for object.create is a descriptor. So how it will be like model, and then you'll have value inside the object. Here it is Tigor, and then you say writable as true. So this particular writable is it's a configuration. Okay, so you can change it to false or true based on your requirement. For now I make it as true, which means that I can rewrite it later. Okay, so let's console log it. Car2. Yes, so now it has created an object with model Tigor. Okay, the next part of this is we have to inherit another object inside this object.create. How do we do that? We can create another object called vehicle, and then we can just give that object as a prototype reference here. Okay, let's create a vehicle object here, vehicle. So what I'm doing is create property called type. I'm saying four-wheeler, and I'm giving that reference as the first argument to object.create method. Cool. So now if you see, this car2 object doesn't have a type called four-wheeler, right? So but it has a link to the vehicle object, which is going to act as a parent. So now what I'm doing is I'm going to type car.type, car2.type inside the console log. So this will return four-wheeler. If you see in the developer console, let's clear this and see, it returned four-wheeler. So this is how the prototypical chain happens. Okay, so if you remove this vehicle object and say object.prototype, which is a default one, what will happen now? It will return undefined. So this is the basic difference between the third one and the other two different ways to create an object. The first way was object initializer, the second way was object constructor, and then the third way was this object.create method. Okay, so these three different things, now we have learned it. So you can use this in your day-to-day activities. So in the next video, we'll be learning more about the inbuilt methods of object. So this will give you some of the ways to manipulate the objects. How do you go through each and every property of the object? All those things we'll be seeing in the next video. Thanks a lot for watching. If you really like the video, give a thumbs up. If you want, you can share it to your friends who wants to learn JavaScript. Also, if you have any doubts or if you want to share feedback about this tutorial, you can use the comment section below. Please subscribe to the channel and also hit that bell icon so that you get notified whenever I publish a new video in the channel. Thanks a lot guys, see you back in the next video. Bye bye.